NIO might have a surprise and show more money in the first quarter earnings than anyone is expecting. Now, I'm going to explain why, and also why I didn't talk about this earlier. It's speculative. I don't know if this is the case, but someone else actually talked about it. And so I was like, okay, now I need to highlight, the person and the situation where they're talking about it, and then also show what I'm thinking. So stick around and I'll show you where NIO on the website kind of, on their website, put it out there back in February. I don't know how many people caught it. So this is kind of where I want to go next. And this is Courtside Financial. This is Obi's channel. Obi and Marcel Munch were two of the first NIO content creators who I ever knew about and watched. So shout out to Obi for being one of the originals covering NIO. He stepped away from YouTube for a while and has since come back, but now there are a lot more channels and people talking about NIO. And so I don't know how many NIO investors are really even aware of Obi and the fact that he's been talking about NIO for a long time. So this was a podcast about 35 minutes long, where he highlighted and had on a guest, Marty, who is a long-term NIO stock investor and a bull. And some of what Marty said really resonated with me. It was consistent with my view of NIO and the direction I see them going and kind of positioning. But this is the specific thing that Marty said. And Marty's expectation was that NIO has already received money from this and we'll see it reflected in the first quarter earnings. Now, I don't know if that's the case. This is speculative. But because he talked about it and it is possible, I said, all right, it's time for me to go ahead and mention this. So this is from the NIO website. Now, I'll drop in the description down below all of these things that I share and talk about. So you could check out Courtside Financial, that link for the video or their podcast. And then this from the NIO site. Also, Forseven, we're going to look at their site briefly here in a second. But this is the specific thing. And the verbiage kind of leaves it out there as it's not specified, which is why I didn't talk about it earlier. But this is from February 26, 2024, the news release from NIO right here. Under the technology license agreement, the company will receive technology license fees comprising a non-refundable fixed upfront license fee plus royalties determined based on the future sales of licensed products by Forseven. So folks, this is money NIO has either received or started receiving or will receive. But because I don't even have amounts or timeframes, I hadn't brought it up yet. But shout out to Marty and Obi for actually bringing it up and the possibility that it could actually have already, money could have changed hands and NIO could show an uptick in revenue as a result of this in the first quarter earnings. This is the Forseven site. If you haven't been there, again, I'll link it in the description. You can check it out. It's a luxury brand and they're looking to do things different, but obviously this connection through CYVN. And a quick note, I know Marty kept saying CYNV, I think, in the podcast, and it's a simple mistake. I had to look it up to make sure because I was like, wait, is that right? Is that wrong? I've probably made the same mistake in the past. I also think he might have misspoke about the holdings and the size of CYVN, but you know what? It's all good. I really appreciated his overview and what his thoughts were. So I just wanted to offer those things as well. Final thought, I guess I'm really curious to know what others are thinking. And you know what? In fact, do this. Do me a favor, if you would. Someone reach out to Marcel or Jason, you or both, and ask them if they have any thoughts or insight. And then also, what their thoughts are on this, if they expect to see anything in the first quarter reflecting revenues received from this. I'm very curious. And again, I don't want to get people's hopes up because I don't know. This is kind of a speculative thing. What I do know is money has or will change hands, and NIO will be bringing in money from this. And I haven't seen anybody else talk about it. So that's why I wanted to bring it up and make people aware of it. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see y'all again very soon.